hello everybody, and welcome to another fantastic Cortex RP session. We've got Framling back with us, Ulmacore, Nevin. Welcome back, Nevin. Yeah, the Wanderlust has taken, and yeah, you're out rocking it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm somewhere else on the planet, and where I am is dark and warm,
the
warm and dark.
gold and
Yeah,
shiny, from what I
yeah,
understand.
yeah. And there's a lot of bling. There is a lot of bling because in this particular place, too much bling. There's no such thing. You can't have too much bling, even if you've got to be like Pebble Dash in gold paint. That's still not blingy enough. Um, Yeah, yeah. It's just like man with a golden gun type stuff. It's like, yeah, could do better. When you come here, it's like, oh yeah, paint you gold. That's a start.
Booyaka. You know,
Mm.
and then we've got Talbot sitting there with his inspirational quotes. Yesterday, when we went live, he thought I better read that in case it said something like Talbot's an arse. You know, he just said, inspirational quotes. Have you actually read it? Damn you!
Talbot is it? Oh, I can't read that.
um, so yeah, no, that's welcome back. It's you've been missed. Great to show. People will notice, of course, that we are missing Holt. Holt can't be with us tonight. Feeling a little bit under the weather, and it's best to, as an actor, it's
Mm-hmm.
best to protect those vocal cords.
Yeah,
Um,
the pipes as a thespian need to be
mm,
protected. Yeah.
and then he's on holiday next week, so we're not going to see him for the next couple of weeks. But that said, so he's not here this week. He won't be here next week. The week after, hopefully it'll be all three of you.
Yeah.
Get the full crew back together again. But yeah, of course, Nevin, this is the first time that you have seen our new background.
Yeah, it is. And ordinarily, I wouldn't normally see the background, but now I'm looking at its full glory. It's all appearing directly at me. So, yeah, what's happened to the library?
The provinces, people have come in here and started hanging their banners from every surface. You
The
know.
proles. It's the plebs coming in. Dear God. Dear Dad.
Yeah, because well, that's of course, as you point out, that was what we started out this, and for quite some time we've had the main table. We sat around it, and people have to notice, well, will notice that we're no longer sitting at a table. Obviously, indicative of we're out and about. We've had
Mm-hmm.
to go with the separate cameras, and yeah, that's the way it is. We're here. We're now individual.
We are. Yeah. No, we'll make this work. Well, it's going to be fun.
You just got to remember
If
which hand you go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to go that way. I also need to like bring it up to the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, he got it right.
Yeah.
Last night he couldn't get it right. It was this way. What? This way? No.
Mm, uh,
So yep. Also, so tonight it is Cortex's 24th RP session episode.
wow.
If you check
Wow.
if you check out the YouTube channel, then and I think we've got 62 videos on Twitch. Um, and you can see that we had obviously our gaming channels, and we've done some reviews, played some games badly. Um, but this is our 24th roleplay session. I mean it's
That's got to
getting up
be
there.
that. That's over. That's got to be over 6 months, or it's at least 6 months. You're working on a 1 week, 26 weeks to the 6 months, but it's been more than that because we've had a few gaps.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we must be getting close towards. Whew. Well, it'll be interesting. We'll have to mark it. We'll have to work it out. When is our first year anniversary? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna look at the number. Do we look at a 50 and go woo with a big giveaway? Anybody watching, get live, or
Yeah,
a
yeah.
100? And yeah, we want a year anniversary. We'll have to check into it and see what it is. But we're still in book two. Empire and Flames is still the book, book two. But you will note a jump in chapter. We have jumped from 1115 to 1152. That's a few years.
Mm.
29 or so. I don't know what the matter.
37.
37 years. I keep on. You see, I forget about the 7 year. There's a 7 year bit I keep jumping. And the chapter is Old Friends, which I think is suitable
Hmm.
for the return of Framling to the shores of the Empire. And yeah, we'll have to see if the episode goes by over the next couple of weeks, if on what Framling's been up to, and of course Arnung. Last night he was what 20 something, early 20s. You know, in 1115, he's now jumped 37 years. That's putting a bit of age on him. You're an old boy, mate. You now look twice the age of the immortal.
Ha!
So,
Old man, old woman. I'm not a
oh,
woman, I'm a man. Couldn't just call you man.
just because somebody threw was it a magical scimitar at me, that doesn't make me.
Yeah, just because some watery bin throws his enemy is no position for forming a government. What?
Bit of Monty Python there.
Yeah. Come on, badly done, everyone. If you want to see it, I recommend YouTube, and just put down, the Holy Grail
Holy Grail, yeah.
and the old woman scene, I guess.
Yeah,
Old
yeah.
woman.
Old
I'm not a
woman.
woman. I'm a man. Couldn't just call you man. Could have called my name. Didn't know what your name was. My name's Derek. I didn't know that. You never asked. And so on and so forth.
I've started to reintroduce the knights that say "Dee."
Nee, nee. And Kawiggy Wiggy Zatang. Yeah.
Boing. So yes,
We need a shrubbery.
with a nice little fence, not a cheap one, but not too expensive.
That's right. Yeah.
Look at him. Look at his face. What? He's got no
Yes.
culture. No culture at
Tell
all.
us like it's just like I don't read books. I don't watch films. I just exist in this small room.
That's me. That's me to a T.
Well, yeah. So that's the Holy Grail. We did a little bit of fourth wall stuff last night, or as some of us would like to say, I broke the third wall. The third wall. Okay.
Amateurs.
But yeah. All right. Well, that's all said and done. So right, episode 6, old friends. For those viewing, I mean, I know you guys know where your characters are, right now, but those viewing, um, so the Empire has been through a prolonged period of rebuilding. The harbours have finally been cleared in the north, and the elector count of Nordland has, from the citizens' point of view, as in the viewers, I suppose. There's been a sense of rebuilding. There's the Grindle and Avery traders have got a good monopoly um, the timber trade and fur trade, as well as the stevedores guilds and various others. So they're basically being contracted by the Empire to start rebuilding the northern coast. Um, there has been some long term. I'm not going to give any details of it because obviously Framling needs to find out what's happened when he gets here. But for the viewers, this is the Empire, the state of the Empire. It's in a rebuilding period after a prolonged period that pretty much decimated its population. As we know, the Black Plague was back in 1115, but it was it impacted quite heavily.
Mm.
Then basically, so the opening scene is the morning tide, the spring of 1152, as the sun glints across the fairly calm Sea of Claws onto the northern coast of Nordland. A silver and white ship, a white of the sails are of a pristine white, and the vessel seems to reflect silver on the shore on the water as it glides across the waves towards the docks of Hagendorf. On Hagendorf itself, it is a bustle of activity. Tradesmen are hammering away, rebuilding piers, warehouses, a dock effectively, as well as the supporting buildings. Several of the wharfs have been completed, allowing trade to start coming in, and several of the warehouses. Uh, the place is a bustle of activity, as I stated, mainly in the repairing, the rebuilding of the settlement. However, before or in front of one particular brand new rebuilt warehouse on Wharf 2, Building 8, there is there's a group of men and some workers, dock workers, which are looking as the sign is hung once more, the Grindle and Avery Trader sign. It's a bright green background with yellow writing proclaiming they are now open again for business. The crowd around suddenly disperses. There's sounds of intakes of breath and wonder. Loud voices can be heard that Manan, the god of sea, of the sea himself can only can only exist to create such a wondrous vessel. Others have said no, it must be the emperor. Either way, there's a sense of wonder, and this attracts the attention of several more serious men who work their way through the crowd quite easily and parts effectively for them until they stand upon the wharf looking out at this vessel coming forward. Unlike the more brutal imperial builds of the navy, the more they lie lower in the water, they're of a heavier timber and they're brown, and the sails are obviously they're the only bit of colour showing the different provinces that aren't landlocked, obviously, mainly the imperial flag. This vessel is sleek, long, and effortless. As it draws up into the harbour, it lowers a longboat, a miniature version of itself, and the people on board, on land, can see for the first time these slim, lightly clad men, and one not so lightly clad, a little bit rough looking, a dark spot amongst the silver. Now, the people of Nordland know elves, as we are all aware. Nobody else does. They are literally absent and can be mistaken for anything from mutants to demons. But in the north, where there is a large community, the Nordlanders have never forgotten the elves. These look different to the elves, where the Irna, the elves of the Laurelland Forest, are given over to the greens and leathers, and the browns, and very ranger-like, sticking to the forest. These elves appear to be almost dressed in the highest, most expensive clothing. They're predominantly blonde hair. They look physically the same, but they dress differently. It's hard for them to understand. They're not sure what they're looking at, but they recognise elves. The longboat swiftly draws towards the wharf. Near the front of it is a man of weathered appearance, eyes of stern. His hair is shaved and pulled back in the old warrior knot style. At the front of the crowd is a very large man, even with his hair, which is still fairly wild and unkempt, has gone to grey. His skin and tone is of healthiness. His build has not aged; it is still of powerful. The two men see each other, and after a moment, there's recognition. The larger man easily recognizing the man aboard the longboat. The man aboard the longboat taking a moment longer to realize that he looks upon somebody that he hasn't seen in some years. The longboat pulls to the side, and the elves silently wait for this man to disembark. He does, and stands before the large man at the front, the obvious leader of this particular group. He's around, the eyes of one man is about chest height to the other, and there's a moment's silence. The crowd waits with a bated breath to see who will say what, who will speak first. And that's the scene.
Right. As I get off the vessel, obviously off the craft, and I come across and I stand in front of this large, imposing man who has grown older since the last time I saw him. Arnung, Arnung, my friend, it has been clearly too long. It does seem but yesterday that we met, and yet clearly time has passed, and the time has passed. Many moons have gone through, but well met. It's good to see you again.
It's nice to see you, old friend.
So clearly, I'm looking around. I'm seeing signs of change. I'm seeing signs of enforced change. Um, Recent times or recent years have not been favourable to this to the Empire, from what I can see. We must go somewhere. And you must tell me what's been going on and regale me with. Well, I'm trying to work out how many years we're looking at, but I'm looking at you and I'm thinking we're talking decades. You were but a young man the last I saw you, and here you are, hale and hearty, and a man in his prime and his senior years. Let's go find somewhere to sit down, and you can tell me everything that's been going on, or at least try and put it into some sort of context for me.
For your part, obviously, several places. You can go for an ale, and you know the area, you know what
Yeah.
you can and can't do.
My home is yours, Bramling.
Sure. I mean, let's find somewhere to go. You tell me what's been going on. There's much we need to discuss. I've come here in need, and obviously I've by looking around and seeing yourself in the years that have passed, I've perhaps taken too much time away. Let's find somewhere a bit more quieter, away from the gulping eyes, and let's have a chat.
Let's lead on through the crowd.
Obviously, some of the people with you, well, the crowd immediately, you note from it that as you turn around, the crowd's obviously been respectively distant. The people have crowded onto the wharf, onto the land around, and there's people jumping around. This is something once in a lifetime to see, what's going on here. And yet there was a specifically gap between the crowd and Arnung and some of the other more, some of the men around. You know everybody's effectively armed. As he turns around and leads, well before he gets to the crowd, you see the crowd part without having to be shoved. And it is that stunned silence, which can obviously assume might help, but in this case, there's something different. There's clearly, this is Arnhem that they're parting for.
Mm.
This is not what it was like 25 years ago. Where are you going to lead him to? Plenty of places in Hagendorf. Hagendorf's still a large establishment. A lot of it's been rebuilt. This is just a dock area that's the last of the works. Are you going to the wells? Are you going to go to a tavern, an inn? Are you going to go to an office? How far you walk and what you do.
We just go to a tavern.
You walk, well, yeah, so feel free to go with it, as you walk along the
Just
side
walk
of
along. I'll shout to one of the lads, go on ahead and I'll mention, I don't know, the tavern, whichever tavern we decide to go, I'll name it and say, tell him Arnung is on his way, and I'll bring along a friend.
The young lad that's been that's been with you a couple of years, he's obviously the fastest, being the useful guys. So the guys around you are old men as well, and haven't anywhere near aged as well as you. But the young lad, he jumps at the chance to do this for you, and he sprints off with the speed of the youth.
And tell him I want silence.
Alright, hold on. I'll sort it. You can count on me. The rest of the guys are falling back, giving you the chance to speak privately. You see wherever he goes, people are, where the workers notice him. They are working. They're not sort of stopping to see him go by. He's not a lord. But those that do notice, you see, sort of go. There's like a nod of the head as a sort of hi, recognizing him, or what's we looking for? They are. Oh yeah, they're recognizing his presence.
They're giving him some sort of input. I mean, as we're walking along, Arnhem, it seems that your fortunes have changed since the last we met. Whilst you commanded some respect, mainly because of your size and the ferocity of your appearance, clearly you've made good on yourself in the intervening years, because people seem to be showing a bit of deference to you that I wouldn't normally expect from what should we call you, a trader, a purveyor of goods and services. Times have done you well. You've made good fortune over the intervening years.
I have done okay, if that's so. Look around. Time has gone by. You've come back into my life as if nothing has changed, but a lot has changed. I'm not the same Arnung you once knew.
No, I mean, purely from the way you look, the passage of time has changed you, but also just the reflection of how people are responding to your presence. There's a story to be told on it, and that's maybe where we'll start until we can get into this. The reason why I'm here, I touched lightly on the world, but the world has touched more heavily on you in the passing years. Come, my friend, we'll talk about what's happened. But you are obviously a man of importance now, much more than you were when we last met.
Framling, I was always a man of importance.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. Yeah, but it's more widely known now, is it not? Your ability to stride down the main street of this town. And Hagendorf is not exactly a small village, and yet everyone seems to recognise you and show an unusual level of due deference that I don't recall the last time we were here.
As if to prove a point, the word has finally got of elven visitors who are quickly retreating at this point. To the Burgermeister and the exciseman, who have made their way towards the dock. Seeing that the elven vessel in the distance, they also note Arnung and you walking down the road. At which point you can see that they also nod to show that they recognise him and swiftly turn round and step away from the road.
Yes, things have obviously occurred in the intervening years. There's a story here. I look forward to hearing it. Yes.
You make your way swiftly. As the crowds around you, the workers, the people that are trading in the Hagendorf, which is up and running, they part for you. You know, there's no worry about the human traffic, and you make it to the Tannerman, which is remarkably empty when you get there.
Suspiciously empty.
And cleaned. A man with worried hooded eyes sees you as you walk in. You note that as you do walk in, you can see that he's clearly got his best, most comfortable seats. The table has been done, the brushes have been cleared, the dog's removed. You take a seat that has obviously been prepared for you. You see one of the men that came with him, particularly. He looks stallion to you. You recognise the sort of the look about him. He sits inside the tavern by the door. The young lad is with this quite a big lad. Not as big as Arnung, and they sit outside. And the door's closed, leaving the Tannerman completely empty. The barman serves you some drinks and goes, "Of course, Arnung, any service that we can provide, please just call out. I'll leave you to your privacy, but I'll hear you if you call for anything. Thank you very much for stopping by." And he makes a retreat. You can see the guy's got hands are sweating as he rubs them on his trousers and on his apron. And as you do sit down, you sit down opposite him. You look across the way, and you can see this guy who's got a variety of daggers around his waist is sitting in the sense of being by the door, but also not listening at all to what's being said, even though he's in the room. And the rest of the guys that came with him are on the outside.
Looks suspicious to me. I think we should go over and stab him.
Vernick, sitting at the door, is looking. You see the guy at the door is looking at him with the look of, he might stab me, and I'm ready to run.
Right.
Where's that boy gone?
So he'll be. So he obviously got you and sent word.
Yeah.
He's not. You are well aware. He's not allowed to be. Even though he's a trusted, he's not. He's a young lad, so he's on the outside. And if, as a messenger, if you need him, Vernick will tap on the door and tell him to come in.
And I'll just turn to Vernick and say, "Bring the boy."
He leans across, literally because he's sitting on the chair, which is moved to the door. He taps on the door with his hand, tick tick, right by his shoulder, just like that. And the door immediately opens, and the lad pops his head in, looks at Vernick, and Vernick just sort of nods in your direction, and he comes over. Yeah, yes, all right.
It was young Eric, wasn't it?
Yep.
Your name?
Renier, sir.
Renier. I'm terrible with names.
It's okay.
I forgot to give you this. Just give him a coin.
Thank you. Anything else?
That will be all for now. Thank you for your service.
He's got the coin in one hand. He's like, "Thank you," and he turns and makes a quick move to the door and exits, leaving just you two in one end of the building and Vernick at the door.
So, can I just clarify? This is a completely empty tavern.
100%. It's you two sitting like this. It's quite a large establishment. It's all
Yeah.
brand new. You know, it's just been rebuilt. You know, you can barely smell you know, dog and human shit in the room. But it's Verdict's at the door, and this place is
Yeah, right. Just a few empty, overturned tankards. It looks like the Marie Celeste. Like, oh,
yeah,
it looks like people were in here just 5 minutes ago. Yeah, it's eerily quiet.
yeah. And
All right.
you're clearly sitting at the best table and the best chairs in the place. No doubt, I'm visualizing Arnung sitting with his legs crossed.
Yeah, yeah, I'm on the table.
Oh, he's on the table. Right, of course, why not?
Right.
I didn't mean crossed-legged. I mean legs, you know, a leg over. You know,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he's
like
squat. He's
like
squat.
that, hands on my knee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the table.
No, no, legs crossed, hands on my knees.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You another thing of note is obviously you've always oh no, sorry, Ford. Traveling, you have always defaulted to clothing in the sense of what's available and what's practical. It's cold, put more layers on, thicker, but you've never sort of taken with fashion. Arnung is not necessarily in the highest fashion, he is just in the highest quality.
Right.
He's the equivalent of wearing a high quality Italian made shirt, you know, the nice trousers and loafers. His clothing is very high quality.
Okay, so he's
You
not.
you don't know if it's
He's.
fashionable because you what's fashion these days? You wouldn't recognise
Yeah.
fashion if it bit you, but you do recognise quality.
I'll just like when fashion from the ones.
Yeah,
You from the 90s? No, I go for the ones. Oh, what the 11? You know, the 1090s, the 11 ones. A bit further
what?
back. This is I'm rocking the goat herder look. Whereas Arnung's just basically wearing high quality gear,
Absolutely.
and is not the rough bodyguard mercenary fighter that I recall
He
in terms of
physically
his.
is, but in
Yeah.
terms of his clothes, yeah, this is not workman's clothes. This is yeah, a suit, effectively.
Mm. And he's still tooled up. He's still got the hammer.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, not this case. So that was the one mistake I made. So the only thing on you, are you still is he still carrying the blade?
He always carries a blade.
Right,
Okay,
he's
so
got the
the
blade.
blade's there, but the war the war hammer that you remember him carrying wasn't there.
Yeah, I'll mention that. But I don't know. I see, times have afforded you a reasonable quality of life, judging by the quality of the clothes that you wear. But whatever happened? I must be getting old in my age. But I recall you had a rather large hammer that you used to ply your trade with and persuade people of the error of their ways. I see that that's gone. But you still have the blade, but the you no longer wield the hammer.
No, I do not. The hammer was lost,
Oh,
along with many other things, 30 years ago.
right. There's going to be a lot of things I'm going to be saying that probably will jog very old memories that seem like yesterday to myself. So your forgiveness is asked if I mention things that still have any sore points to them. But yeah, I always recall you with that hammer that you dealt with impediments swiftly with.
Mm, the immortal one. Irritating.
That's his take on it. Yeah, you're immortal. Irritating.
Yeah,
Now, there's definitely a darkness about the eyes that you now see more. The you know of the two, they were both Arnung and Fordell who you travelled with the last time you were here. Um, Though obviously you remember them being vicious, but there was also life about them. They were young men. In this case, there's no hiding the fact that they sit across the table. The youth is being replaced by the grim, definitely a grim countenance. It's in the eyes and the set of the skin. Set of the skin, set of the body. You know, the
Set of the skin.
yeah.
The way it caresses the skull, covers everywhere, seemingly without fault. So on, no Fordell. That's clearly. Well, I'm looking around. I don't see him. I haven't heard any sound of him. I haven't heard any mention of him. Is he still alive? Is he on a mission? Is he about? What has transpired?
Vernick,
Looks
see to it that the barman is fully reimbursed for the business that he is losing.
obviously no problem on him. He walks around the bar, and out of sight and out of sound. Hearing.
Sorry, Framling, you were saying? Fordell.
He's not here. He's somewhere else, or he's nowhere.
He'll always be here, but not
So,
in body.
so he's taken to Maul's realm, I take it.
That is the hope. But no, he is with Maul.
It sounds like there's a story there.
What would you like to hear from him? That I watched him die? I watched him suffer?
I don't know. Did you? Did he?
Yes.
Was this?
I watched you leave. Now you come back. And all of this, my empire, it took 30 years to build. It didn't happen overnight. I've earned it.
I'm sure you have. What is the nature of your empire? You're into commerce, I take it.
Logistics.
Yeah. I run an office.
Mail order, panty liners.
And you can get ladies' knickers in a bag if you wish. Pre-worn, not sniffed, for you. Oh. Where I am, you can get those in vending machines, which is odd. Yeah, exactly. You're like, try explaining that one to the family. So, obviously, much has transpired since I've been gone. I haven't been on holiday. I have been away.
I don't even recall, Framling, why you left. I remember leaving.
You may recall that we discovered under an old structure of mine from days of yore an artifact of particular importance and a particular power that needed to be moved. You may recall a visit to an inn, which what was it? The princess something. The prince, I forget now. So many years, where we met
something.
It was the Princess Inn or yeah, not important. Something like that. Yeah. But as you recall, we met a character, a creature that.
Oh yeah, it's all coming back to me, Framling. Yes, I wanted to throw someone in the furnace. I do recall. You would head against this.
I'm not entirely sure. Does anyone ever use that furnace? It's probably every horse that's been shoed from that furnace has thrown its shoes and probably thrown its riders, given its current or possibly its permanent denizen. A fate that I'm sort of quite happy that particular individual suffered. But if you cast your mind back through the years,
the crown.
There was a crown, yes. There was certainly a crown, and that's the nature of the crown and the nature of the stone that we found under the the ruins of a castle. That's the reason why I had to go and seek counsel with the I'm going to say elves, but Anua.
So the Iona, which you
Iona.
know, yeah. So that's yeah. You knew that
Yeah.
you'd entered the inner area that even the rangers don't get to see. The Iona, and yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So I've been consulting with them these long years to understand the nature of the artifacts that we discovered and liberated, and the nature and of ultimately of the enemy that I see that threatens man yet again, sadly. Um, uh, it has been many years since that threat has been imminent, and I can see from yourselves that it's not as if nothing has transpired over the intervening decades, but now the enemy has resurfaced, and that is why I'm here.
Excellent. Framling. Took. So what did the great immortal Framling learn?
Well, much like yourselves, how to compartmentalize and compress uh, years of study and discussion. The crown is neutralized. I would say it's no more, but that wouldn't be accurate. But it's certainly neutralized. It should not play any part in the lives of man from the day that it left these shores, and it still is nowhere near these shores and should never never come into the realms of man ever again. Uh, as for the stone, well, work was done with that under the guidance of um, the Lawmasters, and we made some progress with that, which was a happy event. It did take many years, and when I say many years, I mean many, many years to break that open. And a lot of the tortured spirits who were kept within that stone have found release. In fact, all of them have found release. Even one who could find release found it in his own way. But yes, in that regards, it was of some success. We managed, as I say, to neutralize a great evil, and we managed to right it wrong. He says not being able to. Why can't I get? I'll try that. So that has been successful. That's that worked, and your part in this tragedy was well met and uh, necessary. But yeah, I've been places I can't describe, and I've spent a lot of time with ancient creatures who make me look young and in the first bloom of youth. And I have met with these people. I have neutralized a great evil, and I have liberated trapped souls. Unfortunately, and the reason why I'm here, and the reason why I had to hurry back, although it doesn't seem like I hurried, it seems it's taken many years to get here, is that I believe the Empire is in trouble again. I believe that a great evil is back in the halls of man and seeking to bring man down from the inside yet again, to corrupt him, to take him to places that he does not need to go. I believe that this is due to the major servant of the Northern gods.
So you rushed back.
As soon as this was made evident and was obvious, I did, and that was just but a month or so. The time it took me to board a ship and get back in time.
Mm. So you think being an immortal communes with the gods could have a faster mode of traveling.
It's as fast as any. It's a swift festival.
30 years traveling.
Well, to crack the secrets of the stone and to nullify the evil of the crown is not something you do over lunchtime. It takes many years, many years. Yeah, it was not easy, but we have been successful, and therefore your contribution to that is most appreciated, because a great evil has gone out of the world.
Thank you, Framling. It is really appreciated. Why don't you come and pat me on the back? It's a job well done.
So, tell me, Arnung, what's transpired? What's been going on in your world? Because
where do you want me to start? The civil war in Salzman, the Emperor falling, the rise of the Ratkin, the plague, death of my brother.
Start where you wish. Tell me what the state. Tell me in more recent times how the state of man goes. Tell me how the empire fares. Tell me your view of how man is surviving, thriving, or not.
I think I'm in the state now, Framling, where I'm trying to hold on to every bit of humanity that I have. And it's...
Rah. It's just no, I can't.
I just like a small creme de menthe, please.
No. Can't you see I'm filming here?
I can't work like this. Fucking extras.
So I'm trying to hold on to the last bit of humanity I have, Framling, and I feel it's getting difficult. I no longer know who Arnung is. Am I the Arnung you once knew? Am I the Arnung that runs Nordland? Am I the Arnung that is a Longshank? Am I the Arnung that is the brother of the stag? What does the gods have in store for the great Arnung? I mean, the immortal Framling comes rushing back because another greater evil is at loose.
It has, and that is why I'm here.
And you need my help.
I never seek to meddle in anyone's lives. It's not my place to do that. It's not my place to seek to lord over or dictate what should or should not be done in your everyday life. And it seems that you've had some success. It seems like you've had a lot of sorrow. However, that's within the realm of man. If I remember my days of youth, that's common to us all. That means we're human. It means the gods have purpose for us, and your purpose, my friend, is to help us when great evil rears its head, and that great evil has reared its head again. That's why I'm here, and I need a good man like yourself. Yes, the time has not been too kind with you. It's not been kind in terms of the memories of its imparted. However, you still look strong. You still look hale. You now have, by the looks of it, just looking around at this very expensive, empty tavern that's clearly being cleared on his command. You clearly have influence, more influence than you ever did when I first met you, and you are still a member of the Brotherhood of the Stag. We as men can be many things. There's many facets to us. We're not one-dimensional. Yeah, you've had some knocks and bruises by the looks of it, but that just makes you a more rounded person. And I need that person to help me with with this scourge, this ancient scourge that I have been fighting with for these many long years, years beyond count, years I don't care to remember. And that person has reawakened their influence on the land of man, and would seek to give you more pain and more horror and more disruption. And no one would want that, knowing what I know.
I'm not that old, Frambling.
No. Everyone is young in my eyes.
I can still build a hammer, although I do not have one. I do not know why I did not.
Tap on the door. Burning opposite blacksmith site.
You say you want a hammer?
Yeah.
I heard something. I heard disturbance.
A selection, sir.
So yeah, still wield a hammer, sorry.
I guess it has been a long time, but I think age has been kind to me. I haven't weathered quite. I weathered quite well. I know I do not look as youthful as you are the son of Tal. We all don't have that. Well, you know, Daddy is a god. I nearly did it. I had to stop myself.
Not all of us are demigods.
And there he is.
That's where you'd go, Caradoc?
Yeah. Think you're special.
He's only saying that because I did that last session. And he says Arnung's a descendant of Caradoc.
And what, you were like...
I was giving it the big one. I was giving it the ooh to the Emperor, going, ooh, look at me. I'm the Emperor.
Right.
And yet, going, fuck, shut up, just stop talking.
I was going to say, and you're still alive, or at least in one piece. Think you're special, eh, Emperor? Well, yeah, I'm the Emperor. Yeah, so you say.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm.
Don't you know who I am? No. Don't know who I am, eh? Ooh. Yeah.
I know John.
Yeah. Do you know Big Dave? Yeah, I do. I know the Noonan. The Noonan. Most popular man in Manchester in the 90s. For a man in prison.
Yeah.
So tell me of this great evil, this threat, this dire threat. I mean, I fought off the Ratkin, the Skaven. I survived the plagues. Well, thanks to Ronald.
Yeah. Ha, the jester. How we laughed. Except when old Bill, his leg rotted off, eaten. How we laughed. He didn't laugh, but he died. But, you know, how we laughed. Renald, the trickster. Cast your mind. Well, I don't even know if I mentioned this. Many, many, many years ago, in fact, way in the mists of time, much like I am the representative of my father, and I seek to only protect and allow the empire to flourish. There is a creature in a visage, in a body that I remember as a different person, inhabited by evil, born out of the northern wastes by the northern gods. And this thing, it represents all evil. It represents the northern gods and the hate and bile that they spew forth against mankind, against the world, to be fair. It's not limited to purely man, just that man seems to be more susceptible to its whisperings. And that creature has resurfaced. I'm almost sure of it. And is now plying its business in injecting its evil back into the Empire. Um, it's not necessary to know who he was and what he's become, but know that it is a servant of the Northern Gods, and it is it's working its horror again. I know it, and I'm here to find out exactly what it's been up to, and who it has corrupted, and what it seeks to gain by that corruption. And hopefully, if I ever get the chance, I will deal with that thing that was or is Ivriksson. I will deal with it. Although I'm not like it, I am never like it, and I will take this axe to anyone who suggests anything otherwise. Ivriksson needs to be dealt with severely.
Who is Ivriksson?
That's the creature from many, many hundreds of years ago, almost an eon or two, that is inhabited by the spirits of the dark gods. It's controlled by, is the focal point, and effectively masterminds their will here in the Empire, if not on the entire world, but certainly in the Empire. And it is his servant that we met on the road all those years ago. It was his servant that was callous in its attitudes towards life and humanity. It's its servant that we dealt with in that forge,
That we stuffed into the forge.
where we shoved it into a forge so it can haunt it forever. No one, not a popular forge. No one likes that forge, and that is one of a group of individuals that I remember from my youth. And I will find Ivriksson and I will destroy him. Maybe he's not now, maybe he's not tomorrow, maybe he's not in 100 years, but I will get him and I will destroy him. And I will say that his taint is removed from the earth.
You see, only someone who is immortal could speak like that. Maybe not now. Maybe in 100 years. I don't know how that kind of time frame. So if you want to find this guy and kill him, you need to be swift. And if you want my help, then you know I'm not going to say no.
We need to, if we can find him and deal with him, perfect. Wouldn't that be great? However, he's avoided my my grasp these last 1,000 years. It would be great to get a hold of him, but if nothing else, we'll deal with his servants, his minions, his messengers, and more importantly, we'll undo the harm that he no doubt is trying to wreak all over the Empire. That is why I'm here. That is why I have left the homeland of the elves to journey back to the Empire.
So, just a quick addition there. From your point of view, now I know it's just habit talking, we'll get into the right habits. You would say Azure.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Or Azure, in fact.
Azure, sorry.
Yeah. Which you don't know that word. So the homeland of the Azure, for you, you probably take the way that he said and the way he's talking about is probably the gods, the divine place where the gods live. That's how it would sound to you, that word. Second, just to point out that obviously Talbot are aware of certain things, but Arnung might have picked up on 1,000 years as a kind of a what? Because when somebody would drop out 1,000 years, that really pushes how old this guy is, the long game he's going to be playing. When he's saying, "Oh yeah, enemies from a while back," and then he suddenly drops in 1,000 years, and you're going, "Hello, that was not long after Sigma." It kind of really hammers home your oath to the Brotherhood. That though obviously you're angry and you've got this background which he's slowly getting out. But yeah, that would really sort of wake you up that this is a demigod. This is the a guy that was there around Sigma according to the legends. This is, and you did have an oath to the Brotherhood, which I know you were leading on anyway, which is when you said I'm going to be there. But just want to add a couple of things in there because it's been a couple of weeks since as a people we've been together. So go on, you're about to speak there.
Of course, I was going to say now, it's bloody Tal again interrupting.
Yeah, suddenly this giant stag jumps through the window.
Do you know what? I told you yesterday, Tal, not to put in.
Suddenly, one of the birds at the side of the room just comes in. Actually, what you'll find is back in 422. Well, cheers, Tel. Thanks for that. Thanks.
Does this all the
just
time?
Just having a moment, but go on.
Auto-correcting constantly.
Actually, oh, he's such a brown noser. Has to be with the fact. Actually.
Just fact checking.
But anyway, yeah, go on. Sorry, Arnung. Go with it. Free fall.
So I understand. You're back, Framling. It's like you look at you, sitting in front of you like you've never left. I grew up with your stories. You make me feel like a boy again, growing up in the temple. It's good to have you back, my friend.
I realise that you have packed in these years that I have been away many experiences that belie my age against your age. It's not necessarily how many years I've walked the earth. It's about the things that I've seen and the things that I've done. In that you have joined me, and we are equals. Your experiences are very similar to my experiences, and once we've seen the horrors that the Northern Gods can wreak, it doesn't matter how many years we've been at it. It's all the same, and that I look forward to having your companionship on this journey. And if we can get a hold of Igrason and deal with him, so much the better. But I'll take spoiling his party. I'll take spoiling his plans. I'll take ruining his day, ruining his century. I'll take that if I can. It's been many years since I've seen this thing. Years I can't uncannibal. Years I can't even remember. When I was young, when I was younger than you are now, and this thing inhabited my world, and I would look to, I would look to settle with him. I would look to meet him and square this out once and for all. But this thing is also a coward. It doesn't ever normally deal straight up like you and I do. It is likely it is working through a factor. It is working through a minion, a servant, a slave even. And that's who we have to seek. We have to determine how far down the path of the Northern Gods this servant has been turned, and turn them back, or deal with the issue that they are in the process of trying to create.
More drinks!
There's a clatter, door opens, and the barman comes in, quickly dips 2 large tankards behind the bar, and brings them back to the table, takes the others away, leaves them, walks off, and you hear the door close once more. All done in a very quick manner. I know you weren't, but it looked like you were looking out the camera at the game. You suddenly went, and I felt the need to go.
Yeah, wait a minute. What are you looking at? You can't see that.
Looked like you were going, oh, hey, stop.
Really?
Really?
All of that?
If we both do it.
Intimidation.
We're not doing that.
Nope. Damn it. How much potter's needed? Yeah, so he shows the drinks. He's nervous, and he's very careful about getting the drinks to you, and he leaves just as quickly.
Right. So, my friend, Middenheim. What's going on in Middenheim? Tell me what you know.
Midnight. I have no idea. It's been.
Oh, all right.
What is Midnight? Is that a place?
Yeah. Who is Middenheim?
Very quickly.
Tell us about Midnight. What do you want to know about him?
I've got him in the basement. How do you know
Yeah,
about him?
yeah.
You've
I've
got
been tortured for weeks.
You just tell me who he is. I'll break his knees. Middenheim,
Yeah.
go and get him. Knock on the door, boy. Go get Middenheim. Right.
Oh, oh shit. Um, yeah, I need to actually check. You do know, you do know what Middenheim is, or you don't?
I know it's a place. I'm just trying to go. What? It's not where we were, was it? No.
Well, maybe your memory's gone a bit. I'm more than happy for you to struggle through that. And I don't mean that in a vicious way. This is the Dark Ages,
Yeah,
so
he does.
you know the North. You would know what Middenheim is, though. To be fair, so Middenheim is the largest bastion city in the Empire, and it's about 5 days south of here on the border with Nordland. You would definitely know about Middenheim.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember seeing it on the map.
yeah. So Middenheim is it is the city of the White Wolf. It is upon a huge mountain that breaks out to the forest. You will definitely, because it's on the border of Nordland, which means you'd know of it. The fact that it would be, it's the equivalent of saying like Middenheim would be the equivalent of going, do you know Berlin? Yeah.
Mm.
It's a capital of Midland. It is, well, why it should be playing, you know the word is because obviously, based on the background that you've got there. I don't want to give it away because I want you to tell it in story, but it's in that bit where it's in your back, it's in your pack right in front of you. Probably it's on page 2.
Okay. We'll take a second while you read it and remember what you remember, because you're an ancient man. You're a pensioner nearly.
Yeah.
Middenheim.
I am
The
not.
current emperor came from Middenheim.
You young kids and your crazy songs, and I don't like your band's names. Come on.
Why don't we just drink for today and ask us about Midnight tomorrow?
Drink for a
I'll
week.
get
Well, in game terms.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll sleep on it. It's been. You've travelled 30 years.
I haven't
a long
quite
way to
finished the
travel,
music yet.
family.
You're definitely getting that. There's some difficulty here because you go, what's happened? Just what happened? And he's, much, lots has happened. Well, fucking tell me! You're obviously angry at me.
Days have turned into weeks.
Yeah. You want me to tell you what happened? What happened? What exactly happened? Tell me about Middenheim. Middenheim. You want me to tell you about Middenheim?
You tell me about Middenheim. What do you know about Middenheim?
Good call.
You're the immortal one, son of Tal.
Oh, we've lost him. He's oohed. The ooze just neutralized. He's gone quiet. Can't hear him.
What?
What?
You went ooh, and then that was it. The rest of it was just you going.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with
it. It was too much front, even for Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm asking you about Middenheim, and you're doing this like to find me about Middenheim. What is it? Where is it? Is it a person or a horse?
Yeah,
and you're looking at him and who's he talking to?
Yeah.
So I suppose what is your response is sort of like, well, because you do know of it. There's no way you couldn't. It's
Yeah.
It's the biggest city.
I'm just joking. He says.
I can't hear you.
Oh, Middenheim. Oh no, I thought you meant Altdorf. Really?
Are you talking?
Who's talking?
You are, so. I'm thinking that we're having technical problems and you're talking away and he's going. I'm like, are you talking? And he's like, no. and then I could hear his laugh.
Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
Well, I found that, with the software using when I pressed the mute button, all it did is mute me.
Oh, right.
Pointless. So, right. Yeah, you need to, obviously you know about Middenheim.
I am.
But then again, that was 25 years ago as well. So you go, but Middenheim, effectively you could go, truthfully, I don't know.
I don't know what do you mean?
Yeah.
What exactly?
It's a big.
Have you heard any? Have you heard any rumors? Anything to say that things are not as they were or not as they should be about Middenheim?
on, as it were.
It's like a parrot, isn't it?
It's a parrot.
Is it? Is things like they were? Like they were.
Like they were.
And then back 25 years. Middenheim? No idea, he says.
It's a parrot.
Arnung,
This is Midnight Parrot. It's a parrot.
back
What?
to the Future. Like, something to do with a parrot, I think. What? God, he's got Alzheimer's.
Never thought to play characters with Alzheimer's and narcolepsy. You go,
What's wrong? I've got to take me dried frog pills.
5 more minutes, matron. What?
How far is Middenheim by road? Well, a normal man, 5 days, but I need potty time every half an hour. Oh, right, okay. Right.
Nurses?
Yeah, Nursey says I can't go that way. Is that right, Nursey?
So, yeah, no, I mean, it's the Dark Ages. This is the medieval period. Somebody in Newcastle, a power in Newcastle, and somebody could say, well, London, you go, well, it's the big-ass city in the south that I don't tend to go near, because that's not, you are more travelled than most, by all means. A lot of people still won't leave their hamlet, won't leave their village. The worst they'll ever get is to the edge of their own valley, of a valley, and then go up too far. So you are within the realms of reality to go. Nothing that I know of. Which assumed that's what he said.
Oh, right, okay. I was like, I'm waiting for that, but it was like, I'm not even going to say that. It's understood. Just in my shrug.
It's a lovely place. Middenheim.
I go there once every lifetime.
Once every never been there.
Well, I
I'd
only go
trade
every
with
other.
Middenheim. What else?
Is there been any rumor of any issues or anything untoward in the city?
I'm sorry, Framling. I do not.
Right. Well, that's where we need to go to, and that's where we need to understand what Ivrickson may have or started a plan, or it may be already in place. But we need to go there, and we need to go there soon. I mean, not tonight. Even I need a rest.
We're not going anywhere tonight, Framling. Tonight
No.
we drink.
Right.
And talk.
What, you getting angry at me? Yeah, that's right. Woo, think you're hard. Think you're 1,000 years old. I've done a bit, you know.
You're like, hopper.
I'm at least a tangerine belt.
I know kung fu. Of course you do. Of course you do.
This way he strikes you, and then you don't even touch him as you sort of backhand him, but he's like, "Oh, using your demigod powers, are you?"
That's right.
Yeah.
Yo,
Look at
do
the
you?
size of you. Aye. If I get near you again, you're in trouble. Calm down. Tell me to calm down.
To do the full Matrix thing, you know, jump up in the air and slough. Oh yeah. Slow kicks, is it?
Think you're a bit sprightly for a millennial-old.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. You're beyond the octogenarian or centenarian millenarium. Or in mid-kick, ooh, me hip. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna have to be rubbed out over the next 400 years. And that's another aside. Framling goes to get his hips rubbed out.
Nice.
Only on the membership site. And
subscriptions for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like people are probably paying money. I don't want to say that ever again. For Christ's sake, never. That story's dark and bad. So, tonight is one of merriment and rekindling old friendships. So we should toast our good healths and carry on toasting until the last one vomits.
I'm gonna attack.
Suddenly
not
he's
expected.
launched across the table by a collie.
By a wolfhound.
Ah!
A wolf. Yeah.
You see, this is Tal defending his son. He's sitting in the wild animals and are now trampling around the room.
Yeah, right. It's going
I
to give
didn't
my
even
son a
see her
hard time.
run in.
It's going to give my son a hard time. I'll just get a dog to come and attack him. Think you're hard? No, I don't think I'm hard. Dog does.
Wait, so what's going on?
Wait for you to say something.
Oh, okay.
That's why you're like,
What's
what's going to happen?
What have I missed?
The look that he stood, he looked like he was going to make a run for it.
He was like, I don't like this. It's quite nervous. Just got to go and see a man in Gateshead. What?
He's pulled out too soon.
There you go.
I've heard that's a failing of his.
I'm excited. I got too excited.
Pulled out too soon.
Pulled out too soon.
Yeah, so
So, Framling, it pleases me that after all these years you have seeked out Arnung. And I will join you because we have unfinished business. I will do this for Fordell. He fell, was not his time, even though he was stabbed repeatedly.
By me.
It was quite natural, really. When you had the stab wounds in him, he died quite naturally. Blood loss.
Yeah, blood loss. He was affected by the plague. There's really no hope for him.
Taken too soon. He'd lived such a quiet life.
He was plague-ridden and stabbed multiple times. He just kind of dropped that in, like, holy shit.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
He died quietly in his bed. Did he? No, not really. He died of all those wounds. If only we knew who did them. Actually, you did them. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, technically I did them, but only to relieve him of the plague. Plague you give him. Well, yeah, okay, technically I give him the plague, but, you know, he was going to die anyways at some point. Yeah, in about 40 years' time. So back into the game. What happened? What transpired?
It was, I remember, I think thinking back, I think it all began with the Ulricans. Some order of the Screaming Wolf or Howling Wolf. Howling.
I think it was 40 years ago, mate. You call it what you want.
Yeah.
The whimpering puppies.
Yeah, I was gonna read
Order of the Whimpering Puppies.
the cult, the wet dogs. Oh, something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. So we'll go with the Screaming Wolves. Okay. And then he,
Mm-mm. No, it was definitely Order of the Howling Wolf. Yeah, they tasked Fordell and I to take care of the Emperor.
Say again. Take out the Emperor.
Take care of the Emperor.
Take him out for lunch.
Take him out for lunch, yeah, a date or two, and then, you know, see where things go.
Yeah, oh, it's quite nice.
Yeah. Obviously, kill him.
Why on earth did you? Oh, which emperor are we? Are we talking about the ineffectual emperor?
Yes.
Are we talking? And they wanted him removed because they didn't like him because of his activities. Because
you know, Fordell, I don't actually know why. I can't recall why.
just like,
Why?
Hey,
I just
a bag of
recall.
beans.
I do recall something along the lines of, "Do this, and you will be rewarded with your weight in gold." And that's all I needed to hear.
Right.
It was a young man who chased the coin.
So this happened a while ago.
How was that? Explosion.
Yeah, it did sound like something in the room.
That was somebody slamming a door on the other side of the building.
No.
Oh, right. Thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to do that.
No, if you see me do that, then the next thing is going to be me going,
Yeah, like, ah!
and then something to come down from the screen. Yeah, no. Yes.
Right, we're carrying on.
Tell me you liked it.
So yes, the priest of the Uragan, this Order of the Howling Wolf, asked us to take care of the Emperor, and he will reward us with a weight of gold, and that's why we went to
Karabog.
Karabog.
Somewhere. And that's where where he was, the Emperor. That was his.
This is where the Emperor
Was
was,
her.
but he wasn't.
So very quickly, just to remind you on, Karabog has been the capital of the last two emperors. So it was the capital for Emperor Boris. You wouldn't forget his name, and that was his palace for 50 years. Then the plague came. You were here during those times. The plague came, and they according to what was being said, he got all the attractive people and the rich people to go to Karabog, and it was walled up and wait for the plague to go out. Obviously, Karabog. Now, the current emperor, who eventually it's not a secret,
Ooh.
it's not a spoiler, but at some point you will ask. The current emperor's been in power for like 20 odd years. He's when you're asking for bowed rumours, that's the point. Right now, the Empire has been in 25 years of rebuilding. He's a stern but very fair guy. It's a good time for the Empire. Then suddenly, Framling Greymane, warmonger, turns up and goes, "The world's going to shit." And you go, "This is the best it's been in your
Yeah.
lifetime."
But that's why I can't recall when he said, "Oh, no, it's any rumors." I'm thinking, no, it's just a quiet it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Karabog is the current seat of power. It's the current capital, not all known. It's been Karabog now for, whatever, it's 25 years, 35, 40, about 100 years.
All right. Okay. A blink of the eye. So,
Yeah,
so
so for you, it was the capital up until 1115. You obviously have
yeah.
no idea what the hell has happened between now and 1152.
Mm,
And you know of the story behind it. So there we are. Okay, that's the bit that you were missing. Reminded you on.
right. So Boris is no more.
Boris is no more, but it wasn't us who took care of Boris. Things sort of
Right.
took care of themselves.
Boris died of old age in his bed.
I think he was taken by the plague just like everybody else. Almost. If they
Right.
weren't killed by the ones spreading the plague, the ratkin.
Yes, I heard something about the fact that they made themselves known, and there was a purge.
The Skaven.
Mm.
Mm.
So who is in charge now?
Emperor Manfred.
Thank you, Tal.
Said the bird as it went past. Tweet, tweet, Manfred. Manfred Skaven Slayer. Oh, okay. And he is a just leader, a ruler, worthy of the position.
He
Jared.
is.
Jared.
He is or isn't.
He is when he's not,
No,
and then he
no.
is when he isn't.
No. It's something you just said, Framling. Which is rekindle an old memory. Manfred, the Skaven Slayer, the Rat Slayer. Do you remember when I mentioned Ronald?
Nope, we've lost you now.
Me?
Nope.
Oh. Oh, him.
Yeah.
You.
Audio.
You. Broke. Can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah,
What
you're
about?
back. You're back.
Yeah. I think I just leant on the mute button.
So yeah, you said something. You just said there, Skaven Slayer, Rat Slayer,
Rat
and
Slayer.
then you said something, but we couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah, what did you say?
Yes.
Oh,
Manfred the Rat Slayer, the Skaven Slayer.
Yes. Skaven Slayer.
and then you said, remember I mentioned Ronald.
Yes, remember I mentioned Ronald, the
And I
plague.
said, and I just said, "Ah, yes, my father's brother."
Yeah.
Anyways, so
You see, I survived the plague.
you survived it. You had the plague.
I said I survived it. I was unaffected by it.
Ah.
And that was thanks to Ronald and this thing that I wear around my neck. It was given to me by Ronald.
What's he pointing to? Or is he pointing to anything?
Did you pull it out?
Yeah.
So it's a golden chain, obviously been worn a long time. It's not new by any means, but the emblem, the design at the centre, the weight is a fairly crudely crafted curved blade, which you recognise. It literally, you've learned how to control your emotions, so it's up to you. But you recognise this blade as the one that was its life sake was handed to Caradoc 1100 years ago, and you can see
Right.
the miniaturized version is on this chain as a not an icon, it's a medallion, effectively. It's about that big, on the scale of the monstrous man it's sitting upon. There's a golden curved dagger which you recognise identical to the life-sized one that was given to Caradoc all those years ago.
No. And so my uncle give this to you?
He did. But it wasn't just well, clearly it saved my life. Like you say, the gods have a purpose. Family, I understand. But he also said something. Something about the Rat Slayer.
Which was?
Oh,
Thank you, Anonymous.
thank you very much, Anonymous.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was happening there. I thought that was,
Yeah, I was like,
graphic.
What's?
There's zombies.
He said something about the Rat Slayer and what?
Say it again.
Undead.
Well, thank you very much for that subscription. Normally we've got the disclaimer saying don't get we're not going to do that, but obviously subscription's great. Thank you very
We
much.
break that for subscriptions.
Yeah, damn right.
100%.
Every said. So, as you were saying,
Arnold, the drinker.
Arnold?
Arnold. Hey, Arnold.
I was like, Arnold? I'm
Arnold.
going for this. Really? Hey, Fonzie! Woo!
Family man, shut up. Listen. This was 40 years ago.
He's over 1,000 years old and he quickly goes off on it. Like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, what the hell? Yeah, it is. It's 40 years ago. You're right. And that has an impact on a mortal mind. Go on.
Arnold, the drinker has returned. The Rat Slayer is not who he appears to be. That's what he said. As he gave me this amulet that I wear.
He doesn't. Reynald told you that the Rat Slayer, the current Emperor, Manfred Skaven Slayer, is not who he seems to be. Is that what you say?
But now that I know that, yeah. It just, when you said Manfred the Rat Slayer, he warned me.
And what have you learned in the intervening 4 decades about this Rat Slayer?
That he's a man that is tried to rebuild the empire. He helped in the Skaven Wars. He was there. Anyone else seeing in, he's a great man, I guess. But
you don't believe so?
No, it's not that. It's just I know from experience now that what you see isn't always what you know. I mean, the emperor that But Fordell and I were going to kill, but didn't. We realised he was a good man, an honourable man, and he was trying to do right by the Empire. This is why we didn't act on the contract. We didn't honour it. But we didn't know at the time that was only the beginning. Out came these ratkin, spread the plague, and hence the wars, the Skaven wars.
The eradication of the Rat King in the Ratkin in the Empire.
Mm-hmm. I was there.
You were there for the wars.
Mm-hmm.
You took part in the wars, and they are now no longer a threat.
I'm not sure from them.
Just from your point of view, they haven't been seen in the north since 22, and they haven't been seen in the Empire since 24, when the final two, concise battles between the Imperial Army in the south. So nobody's told. They effectively have, for most of the populace, because of such a horror, it's actually they've been forgotten about. So one answer from your point of view would be, obviously, I don't know if they're a threat, but they haven't been seen since 22, and they were eradicated in the Empire as a force of an enemy in 24.
Right.
So to answer your question, Framling, I'm not sure. I mean, like you said, these things, are they ever gone? It's you kill one evil, another takes its place.
Sadly, that seems to be the way of things, and that hasn't changed in the many years that I've been around. It just seems like one bad thing begets another.
Sorry, out of game. It was the North we fought, didn't you? That was after the Skaven. Was that after the Skaven Wars?
When we no before.
So right, so who did you? Right, are you asking?
I'm talking about
the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously, like a normal veteran, you'll remember the years. So quickly, I know it's before you, but you haven't had a chance to bring it up without breaking immersion. So very quickly, the Skaven had obviously had the pre-invasion where they'd weakened the Empire over 4 years with the plague. They then their first battle, their first attack, came out in Karaborg, and that was in 1115. They then ran rampant across the Empire until 1122, and they are the Skaven Wars that you fought in. Everybody was fighting for themselves for survival, and then Manfred came out of Middenheim in 22, fought a 2-year war against the Skaven. It's still considered to be a different war, but all part of one. And 24 destroyed their largest army, but his first act was to destroy the army in the north, which was in Nordland, which is where you'd been fighting for 7 years already. You then fought them with the Imperials, and then when the Imperials went south, having destroyed the Skaven in the north, you stayed in the north, which is when the Norse attacked, which you have no idea about. That's when the Norsemen attacked Nordland. Yeah.
So it was after the Skaven Wars.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I mentioned the Skaven Wars. So yes, I fought in those wars alongside our brothers.
Of the Stag?
Of the Stag.
And what are the other enclaves?
A lot of them. A lot of us fell. A lot of us.
Are they still in operation? Do they still have? And I can't remember the name because I haven't got my notes in front of me. The leaders, are they still running?
Yes.
As far as you know, no. Remember, you lost 1, 2, 3, 4. You lost 4 of the. You lost 4 of the
Temples.
temples. And as far as you're aware, blah blah blah. There's no more fallen, but people died in the war, obviously. And that's that's the thing is, how closely you still connected with the Brotherhood,
Mm.
But that's your story to tell. But as far as answering him direct question, as far as you know, you rightly so is, yes, all the temples still stand.
So all the temples still stand as far as I'm aware from them. I've not my my lineage. I am still a Brotherhood, but I guess if you look around, I've had my hands in it, many other things, side ventures, businesses. I think, and it's as I say, Framling. I'm unsure where I belong, and perhaps your return has been quite timely.
Gives you some purpose.
Give me some purpose. Makes me realize why I'm here.
You still have things to offer Tal, and Tal needs you and is directing you through me. We're going to Middenheim. We're going to find out. Maybe we're going to find out about Manfred, Skaven's lair. But we're going to do it via Middenheim initially. So
the Emperor, as you will be well aware, is in Carabog, which is to the far west.
yeah,
Middenheim is on the way by following the normal roads, but obviously the coast will get you to Carabog faster. But obviously you're directing Middenheim. Very
yeah.
quickly, and you might have done this intentionally, and I'm sorry if you have, or just brush past it if you have. He mentioned the drinker.
The
Yeah,
drinker? No, I didn't hear that.
Right.
Arnold the Drinker.
He's calling him Arnold the drinker.
Arnold the Drinker.
But the name you know. But you would be.
Who's?
So you'd go Arnold the drinker. You'd be, and in your mind, and this obviously this might not be for character knowledge. Arhalt the drinker.
Oh hell, the drinker. Is that my notes?
Yeah, it'll be.
All right, well, just
No. So we're getting close to the end for the night, because I don't want to be starting a game on the road. Um, it'll be in one of the character packs that you've got. It won't necessarily be in this one.
right. I'll have to. That doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, guys. Sorry, anyone who's watching.
Don't worry.
It's like I don't remember that
So,
at all.
well, that's a difficult thing when you have a gap and you're
Yeah,
trying to
you're
remember things and goes. In terms of game, it's like, oh, it just happened yesterday. But like, no, I actually don't remember that at all.
Don't remember that at all. God,
That was a few weeks back. I don't know.
I'm going through my notes here, and it's like it's not in here. How dare you?
Line. What we need is people standing over there and say,
Yeah,
lie. Yeah. Quick flashcards.
Yeah. Give me my word. What's my next one?
So if you ask us a question, I need some person to put up a flashcard and go, that's what he's talking about. Go, oh, I see.
In the meantime, when they're waiting to tell you, just look moody.
Well, I mean, if we've got a couple of minutes, I'll give you the footnotes. What you know is, and it's like I said, it's one of your packs, is Ahal the Drinker is a subcult of violence and blood of Tal that was formed by the Seventh Ion, at the creation of the Empire to undermine Tal and bring discord
Right.
and hate. And you swore to destroy it and putting it out root by root, and you believed you'd done it by the year 300. Nobody, and now bear in mind that the Al the Drinker is a direct creation of the Seventh Eye, old, and you haven't heard that name mentioned since the 3rd century. There is nobody in your mind should be alive to know that name, and he goes Arnold or Anhalt. He didn't say the name correctly, but it would be close enough for you to go blood cold. What? Yeah.
Right. Sorry about that. Yep. No, I should have picked up on that. I didn't.
And he said, effectively said, because I can't say it wrong. I don't know how he said it. Anhalt? I think it was.
I know it's Ahold.
Yeah, but you were saying it from
I was
memory.
deliberately saying it wrong.
Yeah. No, because it's 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So he said.
And I'm like, oh, I'm not bothered about him. If you'd said Arnold the drink, I'd be like, oh my god! But Arnold the drink, some guy you met in a pub.
Yeah, Arnold the drinker, he's back. Where? Is he a bit of a ruffian? No, but yeah, you would have went. You mean Arhold the drinker? And the message from Ronald was Arhold the drink, Anhalt, as he'll say it. Anhalt the drinker has returned, and the rat slayer is not what he appears.
Oh.
And that was a message. And that was a message 40 years ago, which shows that the gods look, they've got this whole circle thing going on, and he told you that 40 years ago at a very particular time in history,
Hmm.
and he's now passed the message on and fulfilled that part of the knot.
You think they could just tell us? No, we will go through a minion. A minion who will take 4 decades to not remember the name properly. Right? Thanks, Dad. Could have just got a squirrel to bring it as in a nut. Oh, what's in this nut? Oh, look at the drinker. Right, and I need to get a hold of those notes as well. He says, aid memoir.
I can send them all back to you in a big pack. I've got them all literally sitting on.
Oh,
bye.
Tit. It's my screen just decided to fall over.
There's a set of nostrils staring at us.
Yeah, no. It's right. It set to fall over and hit and hit hit the camera. My screen fell over and hit my camera, and now my camera's I'm going to show pictures of the roof.
What you need to do is go to the back where the triangle is and squeeze it a bit more, and it'll tighten it up.
Squeeze it.
There we go. There you go.
There you go.
So yeah, aware of the time. So yeah, effectively, it's you said I have the drink. You've finally fulfilled the message from Ronald. Ahal the drinker has returned, and the rat slayer. Now bear this in mind, he wasn't known the rat slayer. Remember that, yeah? That's another reason why you go, the rat slayer? What? It was nearly 3 decades later before, as you would remember, he was finally nicknamed that. Again, and then he's just triggered the memory. So yeah, the rat slayer is not all he seems. Of course, that's if we're talking about Manfred Skaven Slayer. It is Ronald the Trickster, and
he's a git.
he's a right bastard.
It's just he's a git. I wrote it in the clouds. Well, cheers. Why didn't you write it so I can see it?
Because it's funny.
Right.
All Tal said was I was to tell you. He didn't say when.
Yeah, or how.
So, 40 years. Joke's on you. So yeah, Ahal the Drinker's returned. And that's the thing is, Ahal the Drinker, the rat slayer's not who he appears. This was done in a time when it made no sense, in which, you don't know what Ahal the Drinker returns means, but it's a clear message to you.
Right, yep. Okay.
And so you need to go to Middenheim. And that's... is there any last minute things that you want to, in character, say? That seem to be important, that you want to get out as part of this whole bum, bum, bum?
Well, no. But this news leads me to believe that we should go to Middenheim, even more so than before. This is clearly why I have come back.
And not Karabog.
No, not Karabog. Middenheim. Makes no sense, he says. What?
Demigods!
I think they know everything. But isn't there Emperor in Karabog? Why are we going to Middenheim? Because I'm going to Middenheim.
Is it?
That's it. Unless you want to... You happy?
Unless you want to sing. Come on, sing!
Are we done?
Come on, Victor. Sing us a song.
That was Victor.
I don't know. That's not what his name is.
Who's Victor?
The dude that's in the back.
You wouldn't think that the guy's worked for him for nearly 50 frickin' years.
What's his name again? Fred. That's right, yeah.
Vernick. Oh, Vernick, that's it.
Not Victor. Best friend after Fordell.
Hey, man, it's easily done. That's why I ask everybody to have name tags, because I'm not good with names. Victor, Vernick. Victor.
And he's picking his nails with a knife.
Cheers. Thanks, man. Thanks for all the work I've been doing for you for the last 4 decades.
Coming up to call you Victor anyway. It's far easier to remember than Verdict.
Even though Victor's not a name that's used in common parlance, well, I will call you Zingelflagger. What?
What?
My name's Alan? No, Zingelflagger is what I remember.
So yeah, you want to head to Middenheim. You're doing your thing. He has been obviously bulletproof to you going, who are you? What are you? What's going on here? He's just casually, he hasn't deflected it, he just refused to answer. But you have identified that there's a purpose and a path.
Who's bulletproof?
Well, he's been trying to get to the point of like, how's the Burgermeister, who is, remember, the Emperor's, or I suppose, the elected count's representative in the town, and the excise man, these are the law, this isn't his time, and they went, oh yeah, and backed off. Right? You're obviously sitting here in this with the town, and he's a couple of times he's like, what's going on? And I don't know if you just went, and even here,
there's something going on. What's going on?
I mean, you were literally hiding in the trees the last time he found you. You know.
This time you're running the entire town. So what's happening?
Well,
I told you
I run the north.
I did say I run the north.
I mean,
It's just a Wednesday.
That's not a small thing. I run the north of the town.
Yeah.
No.
I know I said I run Nordland.
Yeah, I run Nordland. Well, that's the elector count. You know, holy shit.
But what does he mean by I run it? You know.
Yeah, and I mean clearly you can see what there's a distinct something going on here. But yeah. So like I say, I don't know if you're just being very subtle and you know, just redirecting, or if you're like, what?
Didn't read the info pack.
I've got to have something. He's the immortal on my call. Look at me, fabric.
He's never run a province.
You can't really bring that up all the time, you know. Like,
can I run a province? He's the son of Tao.
Well, not only that, he also helped form the empire as you know it.
Exactly. So there, he formed everything. I just run a little place in the top of the map.
One of the 9 provinces. 10.
But it doesn't help when you're trying to get a quick beer. Oh, what's so special about you? Oh, well, you know, I created the empire. Oh, created the empire, did you? You know, well, I sort of, you know, yeah, that was me, and been alive for thousands of years. Oh, yeah. Oh, hello, miss. Can I still have a pint? Oh, she's gone.
Not a good
but what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, that's right. What have you done for me lately? Sounds like a song.
See, I was waiting at some point for you to go, you know, because obviously he was very sullen and sort of like, and you know, and he had to find his way back to the situation. I was expecting you at one point, you know, to go, you know, what have you done? I think it was something along those lines at one point. I was waiting for you to go, allowed you and everyone in the empire
to survive.
You feel hard done by, but I've actually saved the empire entirely as we know it over the last 40 years, and that took a little bit of time. You know, my best friend
was tortured non-stop for 1,000 years, and even now is still. I don't want to talk about it, but even now lives inside a rock.
I just think that Overcoat took. I was waiting for that Gandalf moment of where he looms up and goes, "Do not," you know, the voice of death basically fills the room, and everyone's like, "Oh shit." Gandalf's great, but now and then you can just tweak his.
Yeah, but
you know,
let's be fair. We know the truth. He's a bully, Gandalf. He's an absolute bully. The thing he did to that poor Balrog, chased after it. Go on, trip me. You saw him. You know, he had a gun. Pick up the gun.
Yeah, the third years were absolutely terrorised by him.
Yeah, Gandalf. He was just an absolute bully. You know, like, you know. Go on then, Balrog. You shall not pass. Stand on there. Go on. Ha!
That's unfair.
I mean, he was just going to use the netty, wasn't he? He just woke up. He was like, "I'm going on. I'm just, you know, I'm going to grab a drink from the fridge, go for a, you know, relieve myself."
The goblins have been making a noise again, yet again. Come on, kids, settle down.
And he saw Aragorn and all the guys, and he was running towards them, going, No, you misunderstand. I'm trying to be your friend. Let's have a snowball fight." And then suddenly Gandalf. Yeah. Oh, Gandalf. He just
it's Gandalf.
Comes out the shadows. He's like, "Oh, what's he told you? What's he told you?"
Yeah.
You know, I'm not what you think.
Next thing you know, crack, I'm falling down a hole. And then Gandalf, fly, you fools, and then threw himself off. He didn't.
It's like,
he flew.
Like, look, me bog is literally just there, 2 feet behind you. You're in the way. Can you just move? You shall not pass.
The floor here is a little bit delicate, Gandalf. No fast movements. Gandalf, stop hitting the floor, man. It's really thin. You could fall. But I'll save you. Don't worry, Gandalf, I'll get you here. Oh, don't worry, the bit of that is still hanging out. Oh shit, it was Gandalf's foot.
Yeah, but he's all right. He just deliberately threw himself off.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, this is a bit of a deep hole. I wonder what's gonna." What the hell? Why am I falling towards a mountain? Only Gandalf could pull that crap.
Yeah. Next thing you know, he's found a sword. And he's after us. Ah! As you're bouncing off the side of the wall.
They should do like a spin-off of the date, like the Balrog's day and stuff. Like he's just had a little fight with his missus and he goes off, like that Robot Chicken thing did with
Yeah.
It turned out Radar was actually a good guy, and it was that stupid thing with the long tongue that was the arsehole. Did you see that one?
No.
Well, eventually Vader got sick of Jar Jar Binks and just goes and sticks him out into an airlock. But what he didn't know is that the Emperor's taught Jar Jar Binks to be one with the Force, and then suddenly a Force goes, and Vader's like, whoa! He's driven insane, not by the loss of Padme, but by Jar Jar Binks just not letting him sleep. I can totally understand that. So yes, for those viewers that are going to follow us and watch this on YouTube, Framling and him, Arnung, are back together. Arholt the Drinker has returned, whatever that means, and the Ratslayer is not all he is not what he appears. And yeah, I mean, obviously, the last time the viewers saw, they saw that Arnung and Fordell were in a fight. So that's a, to the viewers, it's going to be like, Fordell's dead. I mean, if you're surprised, imagine how Holt's going to feel.
Yeah, like, what?
And yeah, so
Don't worry, you're going to play a new character. She's called Freya. What? Oh yes. Your body was made to wear a long flowing dress. What? And enjoy.
And she's very open, if you know what I mean. Can't help herself. Oh.
Suits you, sir. Oh, suits you.
So yeah, we'll have next week. It'll be you guys again, and it'll be I suppose we'll catch up where we left off here. As far as no doubt you'll have got the preparations for the travel and the journey ready, and you'll be heading to midnight. If not, will you have arrived? We don't have to follow every step. We're not Stephen King.
Describing minutiae some ancillary character that's either never going to be mentioned again, but it took 4 chapters to tell you that, or dies. Yes. 30 pages after you've gone through his entire life story.
Yeah, his resume has been out there, and it turns out to be nothing. And he went on to do a little, to do some work, and
he got involved in comedy. Got involved in comedy improv, and then went to a different state.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this, Stephen? Oh, well, details. It's all about the details. It's not that detailed.
The green of this green is greener than the last green of the tree of the green of the forest green, but the water that's slowly... A whole chapter about a frickin' raindrop on a leaf. That book got tossed.
Stephen, if you're watching, we love you.
But
love your work.
But never write again. Yeah, and the Jerusalem man was shit.
No, the Gunslinger. Ugh.
Yeah.
Tried reading that. I did try. I really tried. I even persevered even when I wasn't enjoying it, which is normal for the first few chapters of any of his books. But I actually read about 2 or 3 books, and I was like, I can't read this. I've lost exactly. I don't understand what's going on. I've been reading books, and he's like, he's a time traveler? What is he? I don't know what he is.
No. I bought the collector's edition. That's the main thing for good old Stephen. He's made his money from us. But I bought the collector's edition, and I managed to get to the first chapter twice. Because the first time I thought, maybe I just wasn't in the right mind. Revisited 10 years later, I went, no, this is shit. And threw a collector's edition into the charity shop. So
have you tried watching the film?
I did watch the film, and based on the chapter I read, that doesn't follow anything at all to do with the Jerusalem man. I mean, you can read the back of the books and get more information than I did out the first chapter. And I'm like, well, that doesn't follow any concept. What the hell? It's like the very first It, when it hit the TV, you sort of go, is that anything like It? Not in the slightest. So, yeah, I watched it, and Idris Elba should be ashamed.
Was he in it? Was he?
Hey,
oh, right,
okay. The gunslinger.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Another one for his resume that he's probably not going to talk about.
Yeah. Because why not? But yeah, no, it was really, really poor.
Hey, and this is a side. This is for our good viewers. I know it's something we used to do earlier last year. Has anyone seen this new Marvel thing that's going on? Is that any good?
So we're not allowed to talk about it. It's
Right,
still,
good.
it's still fresh, and it's across the internet, across a lot of these different groups.
I haven't
So
seen it yet.
I didn't,
Oh,
I didn't mute at all, but I was off
no,
camera.
you didn't.
I was I very loudly sneezed into the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a concept that basically just don't talk about, it, don't spoil it. Even the news outlets and media have let it go. So
No, no.
haven't
I'm quite up.
haven't seen
I'm
it.
quite up for that because I haven't seen it and I don't want to have it spoiled.
Hmm.
I'm still getting over the shock of last week's Game of Thrones. Utter shock. Of the fact
Well,
it was an
no.
entire episode. Nothing much really happened.
Yeah, yeah, because if that's still under spoiler alert, put it this way, there's no more Empire Strikes Back moments.
No, it was just like, oh, what exactly happened on that episode? I mean, I know bits happened. I know certainly titivating bits happened.
Hmm.
But yeah. Anyways, I will. I'm going to try and find a cinema that has the Marvel thing so I can watch it.
Yeah, well, good luck, and we haven't had a chance to watch it, but we won't review it either, because
At least,
people might.
at least the one you go to won't be in subtitles. I'm hoping that's all it is, subtitles. I hate to go to the one that's dubbed. I'm like, man, this is not working for me.
Yeah, really missing out on the flavour here.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
just like,
sitting there watching it, and it's like, no, that is
it's,
not what Thanos sounds like.
yeah, that's right. Really?
What?
Yeah, really? I'm sure Tony Stark didn't have a high pitched voice. Really?
But
Right.
yeah, so thank you very much for your time here, guys. Thank you very much for the
Thank you.
viewers. Next week, we will be looking at the same time-ish, 9 o'clock start, and
Hmm.
we shall see what is happening in the White Wolf City, which could be fun for many different reasons. From the Midnight point of view, the link for you, Arnung, is of course is the howling wolves, the Ulricans. You're going to the Ulrican stronghold in the Empire. Is that a coincidence? Let's wait and see.
Mm.
Together we shall find out. So you guys still stay here for a moment, but to the viewers, I've got 3 different cameras. I don't know which one's live. Just one. Actually, they're all through the same device. So
Yeah.
thank you very much, everybody. See you next week. Leave any comments, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Love to see you here, and thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Ta-ta.